Good day and welcome to the news. These are the major stories making headlines across Nigeria today. DHQ finally confirms coup attempt, indicted officers to face military trial. NNPC confirms successful new oil well discovery. Over 400,000 jostle for 50,000 police jobs. US and Nigeria diverge in details over strikes on militants. Stay with us as we bring you the full details of these stories.
Here's the first headline and details. Defense Headquarters confirmation that some Nigerian military officers will face trial over an alleged coup attempt. Nigeria's Defense Headquarters, DHQ, has publicly acknowledged that its internal investigation into the conduct of 16 military officers uncovered evidence linking some of them to an attempt to overthrow President Bola Tinubu's government. The probe, launched after their arrest in October 2025 for alleged misconduct and breaches of service regulations, was carried out according to established military procedures and examined all circumstances surrounding the officers' behavior. Findings from the investigation revealed that several of the officers had cases to answer over allegations of plotting against the constitutional order, conduct described as inconsistent with the ethics, values, and professional standards expected of members of the armed forces of Nigeria. As a result, those officers with substantiated allegations will be formally arraigned before appropriate military judicial panels and face trial under the Armed Forces Act and other applicable service regulations. DHQ officials emphasized that the disciplinary process is intended to preserve order, discipline, and operational effectiveness within the military, while upholding fairness, due process, and respect for Nigeria's constitutional authority.
Another headline of today's news is NNPC confirms successful new oil well discovery. The Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, NNPC Limited, announced that its joint venture with Chevron Nigeria Limited, CNL, has successfully completed drilling and appraisal of the Awodi 07 oil well in the shallow offshore western Niger Delta. The well was drilled between late November and mid-December 2025, with operations carried out safely, efficiently, and in line with regulatory standards. Following detailed testing, logging, and data acquisition, results showed a significant presence of hydrocarbons across multiple reservoir zones, marking the outcome as highly encouraging. NNPC Limited described this result as a major milestone that strengthens confidence in the asset and underscores the prospectivity of the area. The Group Chief Executive Officer of NNPC Limited, Bashir Ojulari, commended Chevron for its performance and said the success reinforces the strength of the NNPC-CNL joint venture and their shared commitment to growing Nigeria's hydrocarbon reserves. The company also highlighted that disciplined exploration, sound technical evaluation, and strong operational collaboration were key to the achievement, and that the discovery supports goals to boost production, enhance energy security, and deliver value for Nigeria's economy.
Today's next news is over 400,000 jostle for 50,000 police jobs. Nigeria's Police Service Commission, PSC, and the Nigeria Police Force, NPF, have received over 400,000 applications for the ongoing recruitment of 50,000 police constables, reflecting very high interest in the limited vacancies. Because of this large response, and after reviewing application patterns that showed uneven participation across states, with places like Adamawa, Benue, and Kaduna submitting many applications, while others such as Lagos, Ogun, Bayelsa, Ebonyi, and Anambra lagged, authorities have announced a 2-week extension of the application deadline. The recruitment portal, which opened on December 15, 2025, was originally set to close in late January, but will now remain open until February 8, 2026, to give more Nigerians the opportunity to apply and help achieve a more equitable national representation among prospective recruits. The PSC and NPF stressed their commitment to a fair, transparent, and merit-based process, while also calling on state governments, community, and religious leaders to mobilize eligible citizens to submit applications before the new deadline.
And the last headline with its details of this news is U.S. and Nigeria diverging in details over strikes on militants. Nigeria and the United States have offered different accounts of a recent military operation in northwest Nigeria in which U.S. forces conducted strikes on suspected militants. The U.S. government, including President Donald Trump, publicly took credit for launching the strike, saying it targeted Islamic State militants in Sokoto State and asserting that the operation was powerful and deadly, with the aim of hitting terrorist elements. Trump even noted on social media that he delayed the attack to coincide with the Christmas period, framing it as a strategic move. On the Nigerian side, authorities stressed that the operation was conducted jointly and with Nigeria's approval, with Abuja providing intelligence and consent. Nigeria's information minister said the strikes hit ISIS elements trying to enter Nigeria from the Sahel corridor, but official statements stopped short of confirming specific casualty figures or groups definitively killed. Nigerian spokespeople also sought to clarify that the operation was part of coordinated counterterrorism efforts and not aimed at any particular religious community, rejecting suggestions that it was framed around attacks on Christians. The divergence hasn't just been about wording. Confusion remains around who was actually targeted and what was hit, with local reports describing explosions and debris damage in villages that had not previously been militant strongholds. Analysts note that Nigeria faces a complex security landscape involving IS affiliates, local jihadist factions like Lakurawa, and widespread banditry, making clear public communication difficult. In summary, while both governments agree something happened, the U.S. narrative emphasizes decisive action against terror targets, and the Nigerian narrative stresses joint planning, sovereignty, and broader security cooperation, with details, especially on the results, still unclear.
And that brings us to the end of the news. If you found this update helpful, please like this video, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to our channel for timely, accurate news and analysis. Turn on notifications so you never miss an update.